There was a Buddhist monk and his disciple who lived in a hut in a jungle. The Buddhist monk had grown old and his disciple was still young. The old Buddhist monk was a great meditator. When he sat down to meditate, he would stay in meditation for 2 to 3 days. The old Buddhist monk had a very unusual power that he could see the future in a state of meditation. One day, when he was meditating, he saw that his young disciple would die on the eighth day from now. He called his disciple to him and said that I am giving you a holiday for the next 7 days. You can stay at your home for these 7 days. The disciple said happily, is it true? The monk said yes. The disciple smiling says that I was also feeling like meeting my family for many days. The monk said, okay, but remember that by the eighth day of the evening, you have to come back here. The disciple nodded in agreement and said, okay, master, I will reach. But take care of yourself. You are old now. Leave my work of the hermitage for me. I will do it as soon as I come back. After this, the disciple took the blessing of the monk and descended from the mountain. Without seeing how much pain there was in the monk's eye from losing his disciple. On the way to disciple's village, there was a river. On the banks of the river were many ant hills where millions of ants lived. Some of the ants were continuously going into the hill. Some ants were coming out, causing some ants to hit with each other and change their path. Seeing all this, the disciple was very delighted. He stood there for a while and watched the ants. Then suddenly, his attention went towards the river. He saw that the river's water was slowly rising, which could reach the ants' heels, causing these millions of ants to be killed for no reason. Thinking this, he immediately took off his upper clothes and filled them with soil and made a deep channel around the ant's heel. He was beautifully cut the soil and made a small canal so that the water from the waves could go back into the river through the canal. After this, he crossed the river and went to his house. When he reached his house, he didn't realize when the 8 days passed. On the eighth day, he remembered that monk has ordered to return to the hermitage by evening. He had prepared that night to set out for the hermitage the next morning. As soon as morning came, he set out for the hermitage. He hoped that he would reach the hermitage before evening. It was evening. Here, the monk was sitting in the hermitage thinking that today is the ninth day. By now, my disciple must have left this world. He was very upset about this. He could not see his disciple for the last time before dying. The monk was sitting thinking all this when he saw a person coming from afar. When they looked closely, they were shocked. Oh, this is my disciple. The monk ran and hugged the disciple, but he was also surprised that the disciple was still alive even after 8 days had passed. The monk asked the disciple to tell him everything he had done after leaving from here. Then the disciple told the monk the story of ants. Upon hearing the story, the monk quickly understood that the disciple had saved the lives of millions of ants as the result of this act. The disciple has received a long and wealthy life. After hearing the story, the monk naturally said, the karma always comes back. The disciple did not understand the meaning of the saying of the monk. Therefore, When he asked the monk told him everything. After this, a question arose in the mind of the disciple. He asked the monk, Master, when you saw everything in the meditation, you knew that karma works this way. You could have made me a good deed earlier so that my death could have been avoided. Why didn't you do this? I unknowingly helped those ants as a result, which I am alive in front of you today. But you could have made me do the same things by telling me. Why didn't you do this? Hearing this, the master said with a smile, it is said that whenever any action is performed without greed, it is known as the real action. An ant in which you have no desire attached, not done with the intention to gain something. Such an act is fruitful and it's called karma. If I told you to do this purpose of delay your death, you would perform the act to achieve that goal. And when you do it for that purpose, your greed becomes involved. As a result, I would not be able to get the full benefits of that act. There is a small principle of karma that just perform your duty without nurturing the greed in your mind about the result of this action. What will be the outcome? What will be the results? Often, when a person donates something, he or she has a feeling that if I donate, then something good will surely happen to me. God will surely support me. And we perform many of our actions in this way. As a result, we are not able to get the full benefit of that act. Later, we think that karma doesn't work. The principles of karma are false. It's lie. Think of yourself. When you go to a temple, you always have the desire to achieve something. When you go to the temple and pray, fold your hands, close your eyes. But the point to understand is that the prayer that is accepted is the one that is done in silence, where no desire arises in your mind, and you are thankful to God for all the things He has given you. A person should go to the temple not as a beggar, but as a king, so you can thank to Almighty with a calm feeling. But this practice is a little difficult. Whenever you do any work, the result of it will surely come to your mind. Now, you will definitely think that if I am doing this work, then this good will happen to me. That's why while meditating, make your mind desireless, calm your mind, and stay in the present without worrying about the future. Keep doing your work. You will surely receive the fruit of your labor, but there is no need to think about the fruit. Otherwise, you will get stuck in the wrong direction. So, friends, how did you like it? Be sure to tell us about this story in the comment section. And if you like it, then definitely subscribe to this channel. We will meet in the next story. Until then, take care of yourself. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you.